Today we're going to replace this NL lock on this Canon safe. These NL locks have been a problem, and Canon will absolutely send you a free one. They will send you a replacement NL lock. I've heard from my supplier that these new NL locks are better, but then I've also heard from customers that have replaced with another NL lock 3 and 4 times and they still break. So if you decide that this is not the option you want to do, we can sell you a lock and show you how to put it on, okay? Now, why do these locks fail? Well, let's take a look at the inside, okay? So your door just lift off, okay? Now, some of these safes will have clips or other devices. This is just a theory on my part. The reason that these locks fail is because of this right here. So this is putting weight on your lock. Now let's take a look at it when the door is locked. Okay, if you look down here, you zoom in, this bar is pushing forcefully on that. It's just too tight. And this particular motor that operates this lock, it's just too weak. They get bound up and they just don't open. Now, if your safe won't open, I'm gonna go over the procedure that Canon recommends to open your safe, okay? I always advise you use 2 people. You can try to do this with 1, but it's more difficult, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna have one person punch in the combination over and over again, while another person racks this back and forth. And it may take 3 or 4 or 5 times, but eventually racking it back and forth and punching in the combination, it'll pop open. So this is the lock we're going to be replacing with. This is a Sargent and Greenleaf lock. Okay. This lock, you just lift up right there. And from the other side, you just remove the wire. And it comes off. Installation of the adapter for your keypad. It's real simple. You unplug your keypad and you just using these 2 screws. Now make sure you do have this flat side out so that the screws are recessed. Plug in. You plug it in. Put it in there. And when it inserts, it's a slight angle. Get it in there. And turn sideways and bam, you're in business. So another option you have, and it's not necessarily on this safe, is the action here. It's tight on this one, but it's doable. These safes are mass produced and they're not exacting standards. If you put this lock on and the door won't lock, what you can do is you can either take an angle grinder or you can take a file, and you need to file off about 1/16 of an inch of this to allow enough room for your lock. One thing you'll find on this is bent up just a little bit, okay? We took the whole lock off, 3 screws. All you got to do is give it a light tap with a hammer. That's it. And what you want to make sure that you have is you just want to make sure there's enough room here for that lock to fit. Okay, nice and smooth. You want the flat end towards your thing there, your bar, and you simply put this on there. Now you notice that when I'm screwing this on, this is sitting back about 1/8 of an inch. It's tight on this, but it's not too tight, okay? Once you get your screws in, if it's sitting back farther, you need to pound this down just a little bit more. What you want to do is you want to make sure you establish a little bit of wiggle room in here, okay? Because otherwise the lock will not be able to lock properly. Now I kind of abbreviated that file thing. You might have to file for 3 or 4 minutes, okay? So, but just make sure if this feels really tight, that you should be able to create a gap. If it feels really tight, just file that down just a little bit. And then this little wire just plugs in here. And we're in business. We're open. And then to close it. And you have your lock replaced. We sell these kits for $99, and it comes with the plate and the new lock. Now you notice we're just attached on 2 screws here. It's still plenty firm on there. Make sure on your lock that it's the half lock. Now you can see these screw holes are right around 1 5/8 on center. Okay, these NL locks, there's what we call it a quarter lock that actually has an even more narrow that will not fit. So before you go to all the trouble of ordering this lock, go ahead and measure your lock to make sure that you have it's about 1 5/8 to it's almost 1 3/4. What is that?
11/16.
Yeah. But just make sure it's the correct lock. Here, I'll line that. This kit will cost $99 plus tax, depending on if your state has tax. And basically all you need is a hammer and a screwdriver. It's really simple. I am going to recommend that you do trim that metal down a little bit. Take about 1/16 of it off. You could do that with a file. You could do that with an angle grinder. There's numerous tools you could do that with. It's not hard. 1/16 of an inch is real simple. Thank you.